Tonight, from Hollywood, The Barbara Stanwyck Show.
Good evening. Tonight, your gas company playhouse presents a powerful, dramatic story in which I play an atomic scientist. Eduard Franz has the chief supporting role, and Robert Florey directed. Laid in Washington, D.C., the story by Leonard Freeman subjects its heroine to one of the most harrowing experiences a human being can suffer, and then resolves the problem in a most surprising ending. And now, in just 60 seconds, the first act of Shock. Shirley! Shirley, you'll be late for school. Shirley, you forgot your books.
Bye, Mommy.
Be good, darling. This is Source 1. General Rogers, please. General, this is Rachel Harrison. Oh, yes, sir. Very good news. I've got the formula, sir. Absolutely certain. General, an impregnable all-purpose shield is no longer a dream. It is now a reality. Uh-huh. Space travel, atomic flights, shelters against fallout. It's the perfect shield. Yes, I'm prepared to demonstrate. I can be at the Pentagon in a half hour. Oh, by all means, assemble the entire staff. No, I have my car. Well, very well, send yours. Yes, I can remember it. Well, General, your gratification is exceeded only by my relief. Now I can get back to my real job. Oh, I've got to make a doll. Yes?
Are you Mrs. Rachel Harrison?
Yes.
May I come in?
Well, frankly, I'm terribly pressed for time.
Please, it's important.
All right. Yes, officer?
Will you sit down, Mrs. Harrison?
Well, really, I wish you could tell me...
Please, Mrs. Harrison, sit down. I have to tell you something. Well, all I can do is say it.
Say what?
Your daughter. She's dead.
My daughter? Oh, no, officer, you're mistaken. I said goodbye to my child not an hour ago. Oh, no, you're mistaken.
Ma'am, I wish I was.
Well, I'm sorry, but you've made a mistake. It's not true.
You know that new building they're starting down the street, the deep excavation? She fell into it. Her neck was broken.
Well, some poor child fell, but it wasn't Shirley, not my Shirley.
Ma'am, I took this report card from the body myself. Look at it. Look at the signature on it. Mrs. Rachel Harrison. Is that your signature? Mrs. Harrison. Good morning. Dr. Aldrich, you may recall I'm Major Smith, Air Force Intelligence.
Of course.
Yes. Right this way, sir. Dr. Aldrich, this is Colonel Hawthorne, aide to General Rogers.
Heard a lot about you, Doctor. How do you do?
This is Mr. Waxman, Chief Scientist on Air Force's Project SHIELD.
How do you do? Child's father?
Yes, Doctor.
Get him upstairs.
Waxman. Mr. Harrison. He's here. Mr. Harrison, the doctor's here.
Come on, Walter, come on.
I want you to lie down for a while, Mr. Harrison. The nurse will give you a sedative. I don't want two patients.
Thank you.
Hello, Rachel. I'm Dr. Paul Aldrich. I've come to help you. This is all quite understandable, you know. Not terribly unusual. You see, Rachel, sometimes when reality becomes too harsh for an individual to bear, that individual temporarily shuts reality out. That's precisely what you've done, Rachel. I think you'll agree it's the most unsatisfactory solution. I'll be back after a bit and we'll talk some more. She's in shock. Actually, a deep catatonic stupor.
For how long? How long does this last?
Who knows? 20 minutes, 20 years?
No, that's impossible. She's got to come out of it, Doctor. I don't think you realize the urgency.
Colonel, please.
She can't hear us.
Don't be fooled by her appearance. She sees, hears, and understands everything. Where can we talk?
This way, Doctor.
I've got to call the general about this. Where's her line?
Upstairs where she works.
Watch her. Call me if there's any change.
Right this way, Doctor.
See, Doctor, this is no ordinary case. Mrs. Harrison has in her head a mathematical equation we must have.
Mrs. Harrison, after months of work, has evolved a formula, which is probably one of the most important scientific breakthroughs in 10 years. She's discovered a new shield against atomic energy.
That's top secret, Doctor.
She didn't write it down?
Well, if she did, sir, we haven't found it yet.
Doctor, it's imperative that she be made to talk.
I'll do my best, Colonel. But I'll need your help.
Of course. What can I do?
Well, a lot of parents have lost children, but very few retreated to catatonia. She has. Why? That's our problem. I can't help her until I find out.
How can you?
Well, search, probe, ask questions, fit little pieces of information together, try to learn every single thing I can about her.
Doctor, that may take days, weeks.
It'll take as long as it takes.
This her line?
Yes, that's right, sir.
This is source one. Get me General Rogers. Doctor, there must be some way that's faster.
Perhaps you prefer another doctor, Colonel.
Oh, hello, sir. Hawthorne here. No, sir, she's in shock. I'm afraid the only thing we can do is pray the doctor can snap her out of it. Yes, sir. He wants you, Major.
Yes, General. He's the best, sir. Yes, he's Chief of Staff at the Institute, psychiatric consultant to the Army since 1946. Of course, General, maximum security clearance. Right, sir, I'll tell him.
Doctor?
Hmm?
It's in your hands.
Well, suppose we start right here. What can you tell me about Rachel Harrison, her life?
Major?
Well, Doctor, here's our file on her. It's a complete and documented dossier. Everything's here from birth to...
Waxman, what do you think?
Maybe. Maybe.
Mike, you! Get up here on the double. Right.
You're going to remove the entire board?
Well, the only way to get a real restoration is at the lab.
Well, now I know you're allergic to strawberries. Were born in New York City, graduated at 15, summa cum laude at Barnard. MA at Harvard, PhD at MIT at 18, mathematics. And I know that you're a citizen to whom the nation already has cause to be thankful. All externals, all quite useless to me.
Dr. Aldrich, may I speak with you for a moment?
Excuse me, Rachel.
Dr. Rachel and I are old friends, close friends. If I could talk to her, she just might be able to break out long enough to give me the formula.
What do we have to lose? Go ahead. No, wait. She always works in that thinking room, doesn't she?
Yes. I know how much your daughter has meant to you, and believe me, it's terrible for me to belabor you at this time. But you know how important the formula is. Rachel, tell me the formula. Whisper. Please try. 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 Write it. Write it for me, Rachel. The formula, Rachel.
My wife? The same.
Shirley.
All the arrangements have been made as you requested. Now, Mr. Harrison, I know at this point you don't care about formulas, shields, or national security. You want your wife back. I can't save her unless you help me. Your daughter is dead. Your wife is alive. She needs you desperately. Now, you've got to help her.
How can I? She won't listen. She won't even look at me.
Nor me. That's why I want you to tell me about her.
Tell you what?
Well, anything that pops into your mind. Everything. Her childhood.
She had no childhood.
Oh? Why not?
Because she was a prodigy and she had a mother. It's bad enough for any child to have an unhappy, fiercely ambitious woman for mother, but Rachel's a genius, a real one.
Her mother exploited her?
She was a teacher in high school algebra. She couldn't go any further herself, so she hitched her wagon to her daughter. She all but destroyed her.
How?
Kept her working, studying, cramming from morning till night. And then for relaxation, she showed her off, had her performing like a trained seal. Feats of memory, problems in the head, parlor tricks. Rachel wound up hating her.
She told you this herself?
Yes, at her mother's funeral. And she broke and cried like a baby.
Yes, if only she could right now.
I want to see her.
In a few minutes. Tell me about the dolls.
In heaven's name,
Steady. The trick is not to think, not to feel. Just let the words tumble out.
Rachel made most of them. She wanted... We were married 8 years before we had Shirley. It was like a gift of God. Rachel wanted her to have all the fun, love, all the good things she didn't have as a child.
Go on, Mr. Harrison.
Well, I guess that's how the doll started. Shirley used to call them her all countries dolls. Each one not only had a name and a country, but a whole biography of its own. They used to sit for hours and invent stories about the dolls, and then she was pressured into this job. And for the past few months, she's had to devote more and more time to that blackboard and
less and less to Shirley.
For 6 months, Shirley has wanted a Hawaiian doll. And Rachel didn't have the time to make it.
Thank you. You've given me an idea. Rachel, I think we're ready for a serious talk now. Catatonia is aptly called living death. Sometimes, to know and to understand the psychodynamics, the reasons for one's illness, is to be cured. I am going to tell you the reasons for your catatonia. To begin with, you've been under tremendous pressure. The stress of work, the guilt for neglecting your child and your husband, the fear of losing their love, all these contributed. But when you were dealt the terrible blow at being told your daughter was dead, you tried desperately to die with her. Why? Because you loved your daughter so? Of course. But there's something more. Through your daughter, you have been living the childhood you were denied as a little girl. Your child and your childhood died, so you wish to be dead. That's true? It is true, isn't it? Rachel, you wish to be dead, but you are not dead. You are alive. You have a husband who needs you now more than ever. You have a country that needs the special knowledge that's yours and yours alone to give. You are alive and you are needed. Your daughter is dead. You are alive. Sometimes to know and to understand is to be cured. Sometimes not.
Well, Doctor, what do we do now?
I don't know. Ordinarily, the decision would be simple. Electric shock.
Shock treatments?
Standard procedure in these cases. It generally jolts them back to reality immediately. But in this case...
Well, use it. Doctor, our orders are to get that formula.
I'm a physician, Colonel, not a soldier. I'll proceed in the manner I think best for my patient. Is that clear? Electric shock treatment is out of the question in this case.
Why?
Because it destroys recent memory.
Invariably?
Invariably. All memory of the 2 or 3 days immediately preceding the treatment.
Colonel, I just got the report from the lab on the blackboard.
And?
Hopeless.
No. There may be another way. Pentothal. Commonly called truth serum. Now, Rachel, I want you to listen to me carefully. You hear only my voice. Nod if you hear me. Rachel, I want you to speak to me. Something easy. Your name. What is your name? Tell me your name. Now I know you can do it. Tell me your full name. Yes, Rachel, yes. we've lost. She's locked herself even further away. This much is certain now. No shortcuts are going to work. No drugs. No quick therapy. It's going to take time. Much time. Mr. Harrison, I just wanted to reassure you again. Your wife will get the finest care at the Institute. And I'll spend every free hour I have with her.
Thank you. The car is ready, Doctor.
I'll do it.
It's like a notebook.
Of course, it was in a coat all the time.
Well, open it, man. Open it. Put it away.
Wait. Give me that package. Give it to me. Now, outside. Outside, all of you.
What is it, Doc?
Later, Mr. Harrison. Now, all of you, please. I have a present for you. It's from Shirley. Go ahead. Look at it. Look at your present. All you have to do is reach out your hand. Very well. I'll do it for you. You were too busy to make a doll for her. So she, to show her love, made one for you.
Oh, Shirley, Shirley.
Give her a few minutes, gentlemen, and she'll tell you what you want to know. She's all right. You have your wife back. Go to her.
In past weeks, we have presented a variety of stories. Dramas like this one, comedies, problem plays, outdoor action melodramas. Write to me at the Desilu Studio, Hollywood, California, and tell me which one you've liked best. I'll appreciate your comments. Join us again next week. Good night.